So over the last couple months, we have seen a serious bear market, but bear markets can make investors a lot of money, but they don't always realize it at the time. Markets ebb and flow just like most things in life, and so the crypto situation we're in right now is no different. Now, any investor can make money in a bull run, but it takes dedicated, knowledgeable, and disciplined investors to make money in a bear run. Any market you trade doesn't need to move up in order for you to profit. It just needs to move either way. Find a trend and you can walk away with profit. Now, the shorter the trend, the greater the risk, but the higher the payout. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the top 5 ways you can make profit in a crypto bear market. Now, before we begin, I do want to give a brief disclaimer that this is not financial advice, as it is merely entertainment purpose, just as a starting point for you guys to go out and do your research and your due diligence. These strategies I'm about to talk about are extremely risky and should never be done with more money than you can afford to lose. So if that interests you, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure those notification bells are on, because in crypto, everything is time sensitive. And without further ado, let's dive into my computer and get to number 1. All right, jumping straight into my computer, we have the top 5 ways to profit in a crypto bear market. Now, just like my last video, all the subscribers of my channel are free to grab this slide deck off me. Just message me on any of my socials and I'll be sure to give you a link for that. But without further ado, let's jump into the first strategy I have here, which is shorting, and or sometimes called margin trading. Now, this is a strategy that speculates on the decline of a stock, whereas normally we are looking at a long position where we're investing into the future. So there are a few platforms that do offer this. So anything from a 10% dip could mean 10 to 50% profit, depending on your leverage if you do decide to jump in on that. So as for example, I do have MargX here. On the left, we can see limit and market orders. You can see the leverage that you may use all the way up to 100x. Now, I personally don't recommend using anything over about 10x because this is extremely dangerous. But as you can see here, we're able to open short positions, betting that any of these may go down. Now, you definitely want to use your indicators. Now, although this is very volatile and they may not always predict, using a few may help you get in the position where you do feel comfortable entering and exiting. So a couple that I use would be the Bollinger Bands, however you want to call it, as well as the MACD. I'm not going to get into the indicators, but definitely go and research those if you're interested in using some of this shorting positions on MargX. Now, the last note I have here is that technical analysis is great, but the social sentiment definitely weighs heavy on a stock's price. All right, so jumping into number 2 I have is scalping. Now, this strategy targets minor changes in intraday stock price movement, so frequently entering and exiting throughout the trading session to build profits by 1 to 5% is typically how this strategy is done. So I would be diving into some of the exchanges I am comfortable buying and selling and looking for those projects that are seeing some incredible volatility. So for instance, 6%, 6.5% today, there may be some buying or selling pressure inside here. So we can see by this stock that it has gone up and down in between these Bollinger Bands, and the MACD is all over the place. Now, somewhere where I would try to enter is where it is bottoming out, scalping that 1 to 5%, getting in and getting out. Now, of course, you want to use the minute chart or the 5-minute chart to try to pull up these indicators and have some sort of direction on where you're going. Now, the last note I have for you guys at the bottom here is never scalp with all of your capital. Typically, 5 to 10% is a good number for me. All right, so number 3 on the list is investing your time. And I know you might roll your eyes at this one, but it is very, very underrated. If you're new to trading crypto, there is no better way to leave a sour taste in your mouth than jumping right in and losing money. Creating a spreadsheet of every project that has interested you. Now, I would track all of these daily until I had some conviction in any of these projects. Research is the only way to limit your risk because it is you yourself that takes ownership over what you're getting into. Heading to CoinMarketCap is a great place I spend a lot of time on, looking at the top cryptocurrencies as well as the trending as well as the other categories, and we will go over that in just a second. But this is where I would dive into some of the projects that I may not have heard about that I have seen on socials and look into all of their information. Typically here you can find if it's audited, where the trading chart has been, what the market cap is at, and where the volume in the last 24 hours is. The tip I have at the bottom here is dollar cost averaging, basically meaning if you're not looking to try to beat the market, you just want to get in over a long period of time, this is the the best way to reduce your risk of volatility. All right, I want to take a brief second to introduce the sponsor of today's video. It is MargeX. It's a digital asset trading and investment platform that provides access to cutting-edge trading infrastructure worldwide. So they're set on a mission to provide a fair, secure, and easy-to-use platform with the highest class of financial technologies globally. So if we dive into margex.com, you can check out the application here. Now they do have a full trading guide and how to quickly get started, but I do have a link down in the description. You will get a $50 sign up bonus if you use my link. So go down, sign in below, you head to the MargeX platform, head to your wallet, and you can deposit using multiple ways of getting money inside. It's also as easy as withdrawing the money. It's super easy to set up an account, so go and check out margex.com for all of these investment opportunities. All right, number 4 on the list here I have is seeking out a strong ICO. Now I have many videos on launchpads, so I do highly suggest you go check out my other videos if you haven't seen them. I just released one on the top 5 launchpads that do have these ICOs all the time, as well as some of these other highly recommended videos I suggest you watch, finding crypto pre-sales down here. Now I go over a few of the other launchpads which has profited me tons of money even in the last couple months, because the price you buy in at is completely different than what it launches at, which is almost a cheat code if you are able to research and find these things very early. So as I mentioned, research is the only way to uncover them, and now I do have a few other videos as well. Check out the how to find video, but some of the other websites include Reddit. As we can see here, there are a million subreddits with ICO, IDO announcements going on all the time. So just like the last slide, compile all this information and dates to make this decision when they're coming out, what you need to invest, and the more you research, the lower your risk of losing that money is. And all right, let's get to the last one on the list. It is, of course, to just diversify your portfolio. Just like it's nearly impossible to accurately predict where this bear market's going to go, it's impossible to predict where any of these cryptos are going to go in the next 10 years. So a strategy I use is to dollar cost average into many sectors of the crypto world. And as we can see here, I have DeFi, metaverse, gaming, different chains, different exchanges, different launch pads, different stable coins. So how I can start my research with some of this is heading to CoinMarketCap again and checking out the categories. And of course, sitting close to the top right now, we can see Phantom ecosystem, decentralized exchanges, the Terra ecosystem, identity, social money, jobs, stablecoins, and many more. So if you have a portfolio of, let's say, $1,000, get out your spreadsheet and break it down and try to diversify this portfolio and decide how much money you want to put into each of these tokens, long-term, short-term, with some sort of strategy on how to profit from it. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you gained some valuable information about how to profit in a bear crypto market. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. And until next time, guys, take care.